Hi, I am Nick Shell, a certified Enneagram coach. I'm going to make mention of this book because a lot of what I'm going to be talking about this video was influenced from The Honest Enneagram by Sarah Jane Case. If you want to check out this book, there's a link right there that'll take you straight to it. Also, if you'd like to become a certified Enneagram coach like I am, there's a link for that. And also, if you would like to do a fun little Enneagram test to get a better idea of which one you might be, there is a link right there below as well. So let's get to the fun part. I'll show you this t-shirt somewhere. There's a t-shirt somewhere. Here it is, found it. Enneagram 7 is scattered. I have a more dominant 7 wing. So we'll just say that's part of me being scattered. Here we go. Trophy husband. Like your husband, only better. Let's analyze this shirt because this is no coincidence I own this shirt. And it's no coincidence that my wife bought me this shirt as part of our recent 14th wedding anniversary. So yes, this t-shirt right here. And you know, I've had a chance to wear it once so far at this picnic from my wife's work and rave reviews. People loved it and they kind of half jokingly bought into it as if, wow, you really do have a great husband kind of a thing. Let's talk about why this is important for me, an Enneagram 6. So if you're an Enneagram 6 or think you might be, this might connect with you. So here we go. One of the things I have personally found about myself as an Enneagram 6 is that we, despite how we appear, despite how we act, we ultimately have fundamental issues believing in our inner self. And therefore, we desire, but not necessarily require, confirmation when we do things right. And I've learned this over the years. I mean, like I said, I've been married 14 years. I've been working for, closer to 20 years. And what I learned, outside of high school, outside of growing up in my parents' house, was that people typically don't tell you you're doing a good job. You did this right. Thank you. You don't get a lot of that in the real world. And I got plenty of that growing up in my own household with my parents and my teachers and people from church growing up. But in the real world, in the workforce, and once I got married, it's not like you hear those things. And not everyone's wired to need them, but Enneagram 6s tend to be need to hear those things. It's also similar to the 5 love languages. Of course, that also has a play in it as well. But I've always been aware that one of my main love languages is words of affirmation. Getting that confirmation that I've done something right and ultimately that I matter, which I think is another place where Enneagram 6s struggle with. That we matter to the world, because if we're not hearing it, if we're not getting that verbal confirmation, it's hard for us to feel like we matter in the world. Now, with all that being said, I'm at a point now where I can talk openly about it, not only to, people on the internet, but my own wife, my wife, my family. And so as I was starting to understand this more about myself, yes, my wife got me that t-shirt, trophy husband. So let's analyze why it's funny, right? Because if a grown man is walking around with a t-shirt saying, I'm a trophy husband, like your husband, only better, there's ironically a little bit of humility in that because it's a silly shirt and I'm kind of making fun of myself. It's kind of one of those humble brag things, but not really. It's making a joke of it. It's ultimately self-deprecating humor in the form of what seems to be, vanity. But that's part of the humor that I often do. I do this with people all the time at work. I pretend that I'm vain, but there's this kind of smirk situation where they know that I'm just joking. I regularly say this at work. I say, I know guys, I'm one of the most humble people you've ever known. And then they laugh because I'm joking and they know that. If I really meant that, they wouldn't laugh and it'd be awkward. But I have learned to not only be more comfortable with accepting that yes, I am wired to need words of confirmation, at the same time knowing that I'm usually not going to get that, but learning to be at peace with that concept. And if nothing else, I can make a joke about it as well and wear a t-shirt. What are your thoughts on that? They belong right here in the comment section.